Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. We are cleaning out this freezer in my fridge. So my fridge freezer that we work out of every day. We're gonna tidy it up, get it cleaned up, figure out what's actually in here so that we can start getting through some things in this freezer and my, food storage and things that I've put up over the last few months. For those of you who are new to the channel, I am a huge fan of preserving food, stocking up on food, buying food in bulk, and making sure that I get everything on sale or at the best price possible. So if you're into that thing, consider subscribing. And if you're returning, welcome back. Full disclosure, over the Christmas holiday, we suffered a bit of a setback financially, and it was due to some scamming and poor judgment. And unfortunately, our family suffered quite a significant financial loss. And in lieu of that, we are going to have to rely on the things that I've put up and the things that I've put away in the freezer and purchased in bulk and stored and done all the things, because we just can't afford to purchase things right now. It's just not realistic. So there will still be a grocery haul for this month. So stay tuned for that video, but it's definitely not going to be like they usually are. We are definitely going to have to rely on these resources that I've, brought into our home and put up for this exact reason. And it couldn't be more of a better example for those of you who are considering putting together a pantry or purchasing your food in bulk, or, stocking up while you can, because this is exactly a scenario where I am now going to have to rely on this food that I've put away because of this devastating occurrence that happened to my family. And in all honesty, my family is healthy and there's nothing wrong with us, health-wise. We are safe. It's not a huge deal. It's just money, but it is a huge burden when you are a single income home and, when you think you're making the right decision for your family and moving forward, and then you just kind of get duped. And I'm so sorry for those of you who have experienced fraud or scamming or any sort of, pirating and that kind of thing where you've, experienced a financial loss. And I'm just so sorry if that has happened to you. But I can tell you right now, I am definitely learning how to make sure that that doesn't happen again to me. And I hope you are too, if you were in the same situation. So anyway, getting back to cleaning out this fridge, we've basically got it all sorted. And this is the final look of the new and organized freezer in my fridge. So it might still look like a hot mess, but it is way better than it was. So just starting on the top here, this is where I've put all of our fruit and cheese and butter. So there's a few things of butter and more butter, and there's a few things of cheese. Anyway, mostly it's fruit, a couple of fruit snacks for my kiddo, and that's it. Strawberries, that was a pleasant surprise to have those, and I think there's some blueberries in here too, which I was really excited about. This one is just kind of like my Mirepoix veggies. So I have my onions, garlic pucks, some herbs in here. I've got some veggies. These are pickled beets that I just froze instead of canned. There's some pumpkin in there, some tomato sauce, peas and carrots. These are ginger, like medallion looking chopped things. I like to put them in my tea or just in soup stock. Gives it good flavor. And yeah, we just got a couple of random little things, celery here, etc. And then into the bottom. So on this side, I put all of my soup items. So any leftover meat that we have the night before that doesn't get eaten up for lunch, I put it in a Ziploc bag and I throw it into soups for myself, or even my kiddo for lunch. So that's what you're seeing here. So we have lots of like leftover frozen goodies that I just chuck into soup, and that's what I call for lunch some days. Most of it is protein, so this is a bit of roast on this one. There's a ham, some diced ham in there. This is some chicken breast. These are mashed potatoes, which is a great soup thickener if you're looking for something that's not flour or cornstarch or whatever. I just scoop mashed potatoes onto a cookie sheet, freeze them, and throw them into a Ziploc like this. We've got some chili down there and some turkey soup that was left over that I threw in a freezer bag. So this is all soups. And then this one is a bit of a mishmash. I did put my Parmesan cheese in this one instead of this one because it wouldn't fit. This is my backup, and then I have one downstairs in my freezer. Then the one that we work out of, I put in my fridge. This was a bag of spinach. It doesn't really fit very good, but it'll be fine. Some random ice cream from leftover from Christmas. I made a peach cobbler with some of the frozen peaches. I can link a video where I showed you how I did that. And then just some random little pre-packaged stuff. We've got a couple of chicken pot pies. There's some pot stickers down there. There's a random bag of pierogies in here, which I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I'll probably end up throwing them in a soup, but this is way better and I'm happy. So this is what we have going on my counter. Excuse the house, we live here. I'm making pizza for dinner, so that's why this is all out on the counter still. Anyway, I pulled out any ingredient that I could put on a pizza, I put in this pile. So we've got some bacon left over. There's some chorizo sausage here. There's some ham, a couple of onions, bell peppers. There's some pineapple here, pineapple here. So we're just going to use all of this up in pizza making tonight. I think I'm going to make 2 large pizzas, and then we'll have some leftovers of that. And then we get into this. This is all going to have to go into my basement for right now. I just don't have time for it right now, and I don't have space for it right now. So we'll go through it really quickly. This is all of my peach scraps. Again, I've already linked that video for you where we did the peaches, but these are the scrapped skins and pits, and I'm going to make something out of this. I'm probably going to do like a jelly or possibly some syrup, maybe a cranberry and peach syrup. I'm trying to get away from using like table syrup in the morning, but I just can't justify spending the amount that maple syrup is. So we're going to make our own using some fresh but now frozen things. Here's some strawberry tops that I've been collecting for the same purpose. So we're going to make some syrups. We do still have some downstairs, so I can show you that at some point in time. This is some salmon that has seen better days. I'm probably going to end up having to can this, but I just don't have time for it right now, so I'm going to put it downstairs in the basement. We've got a whole bunch of freezer, what do you call these? Ice packs. Tomato tops, again, for doing like soups or stock or any of that kind of stuff. This, I'm just not going to put it in the soups that I'm going to eat out of a bowl. So I'm going to probably end up doing some sort of veggie stock or something like that with these, or adding them to something at a later date. But right now they're going to live in the basement freezer. This is my sourdough. This is actually frozen sourdough starter. I definitely am a huge fan of sourdough, but I, again, just don't have the time for that or the patience. So I froze it, and I froze it in increments that I can bring back to life in the measurements that I have, like the recipe that I have for my sourdough. So that's what you're seeing in this bag. This is a ham bone from Christmas. So we had ham for Christmas, more cranberries. This is another chunk of salmon that needs to get canned up, and another freezer bag. So that is all the stuff that is going downstairs and will become projects for the future. So yeah, that's what's going on in our life right now, and I am super grateful for the things that I have put up, because in a time like this where we have to rely on, you know, this food for the next foreseeable future, like we're talking probably, this is probably, everything that I've put up is probably going to have to get us through at least the next 2 months, maybe even longer. It's pretty devastating what's happened to our family, and we're just going to do the best that we can. So this is another reason and another pro as to why I like to preserve our food and why I like to buy in bulk and stock up when I can, because when I can't, it's a huge relief knowing that our family's not going to go hungry. That's for sure. And we're definitely going to be okay. And we're going to recover from it. And it's going to be fine. But had I not done this, it could be a very different situation. So for those of you out there who are putting in the work, when the seasons are plentiful and when the bargain is there, kudos to you. And this is exactly why we do it. So anyway, hopefully you enjoyed that little freezer clean out. We definitely need to get down into the basement and get those freezers taken care of. It will be a project for another day. I cannot at this point tackle more than one thing at a time. So we did this and I'm super pumped about it. So stay tuned for another video where we get down into the basements to tackle my 2 deep freezers, because it's definitely overdue and definitely I need to get on it because, like I said, we're going to rely on these things for the next foreseeable future. So anyway, thanks so much for making it all the way to the end. Consider subscribing if you are new around here, and we'll catch you in the next one.